Hello everyone, this is Isaac White from the Crockett Tavern Museum. Now, about a month ago, my wife and I, as well as our good friend Nola Chucky Fred, were fortunate enough to go to the spring rendezvous at none other than historic Martin Station just off the Wilderness Road in the beautiful state of Virginia. If you've never been to Martin Station, I would highly encourage you go. The backdrop is absolutely gorgeous, and the fort and the cabins and shops surrounding it are immaculate. And of course the staff are wonderful. The rangers are very knowledgeable, very friendly. So if you want to go to a place where you feel like you're stepping back in time, Martin Station is the place to be. Now, of course, I previously mentioned them little gatherings or rendezvous they have, and this one back in May is pretty special to me because I was able to snag some interviews with some of the more notable, although some of them they would say more notorious, historians, reenactors, impressionists, etc., etc. And it was quite a thrill getting to sit down, talk to, interview these people, pick their brains a little bit, and learn a little bit more of history as a whole. So, suffice it to say, this is something that was definitely a big win for me. It's something that's made quite an impact on myself, and I would like to be able to share those interviews, those moments with you, our friends and supporters. So with that being said, hopefully you'll be kind enough to follow us along for these next few videos on Friday as we listen to the voices of Martin Station. Everyone, this is Isaac White from the Crockett Tavern Museum, and yet again we are here at historic Martin Station just off the Wilderness Road with a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the public.
My name is Peter Kelly, and we're the creator of the Woodland Escape YouTube channel, and been an avid historian pretty much all of my life.
Well, it's great
adult
to have
life
you here.
at least. Pleasure, Isaac.
Oh, absolutely. So, folks, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. He has a YouTube channel here, Woodland Escape, and it is well worth going and checking it out. It's right up there with the likes of Townsend and Son, the Deerskin Diaries, so on and so forth. He might not acknowledge it, but I'll go ahead and give you credit.
Thank you, sir.
So, Peter, about what would you say was the point of inspiration, the point that really kind of hooked you into wanting to try and preserve history and promote it, as you have done?
My grade 10 history teacher.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we were studying World War I history that year, and we ended up filming the Battle of Vimy Ridge, which kind of put Canada on the map in terms of we were an entity to contend with. And we actually filmed that in the ravine behind my high school. So I did my first reenactment at probably age 17.
Oh, wow.
And I was hooked. The guy really turned me around. I started to really like academia, went on to college. So that's where it all began.
So you are from Canada?
I am, sir.
All right.
Upper Canada.
Upper Canada.
Upper Canada.
Okay. I need to make sure I remember that, right?
Right.
Okay. So, from that point on in high school, with your first reenactment, as it were, how did you go about pursuing, the quest to, gain as much knowledge and be able to present it to the public? Did you continue to do reenactments, or is it something you just took upon yourself to do?
No, there was quite a lull in there. I mean, you've got marriage, children, jobs, careers, so that kind of gets in the way of fun sometimes in terms of living history. But in my early adulthood, I joined a regiment. We did 1812 first.
Oh, okay.
I've done pretty much every major battle in North America in some form of an organization or group. So F&I, Dunmore's War, Rev War. I did Mounted Cavalry and Civil War for about 6 years. Then my true passion has always been this time period. So the time period of Martin Station.
Yes.
So the mid-1700s always intrigued me, and the more I researched, the more I realized I wanted to do things. I didn't just want to read it in a book or watch it in a documentary. I wanted hands-on. I wanted to figure out how people did things. And often they were illiterate, couldn't read or write, and So there's not a lot of information, and I wanted to fill in those voids. Some call it experiential archaeology, some call it experimental archaeology. So I wanted to essentially figure out how they did it. You know, right from blacksmithing to gun making to we build birch bark canoes. We're building a fort. We're building our own fort. Yeah, so I had a passion for that, and I just pursue it now. I'm probably more often in this type of clothes than I would be in modern clothing.
So you're working on all these different projects up there at what is it? The name of your homestead?
We call it Kelly Station. This
Kelly
is kind
Station.
of the impetus behind the name.
Okay. So out of all the projects you've done over all the years, whether it be blacksmithing, canoe building, what have you, what would you say to date has been the most difficult task that you have tried to tackle?
Birch bark canoe building.
Birch bark canoe?
Yeah, because I wanted to do it. So I was taught by my first canoe was a half-native fellow who's been building canoes for years, and he was my mentor, my tutor, and built my first canoe. And it's a pretty time-consuming project, and roughly 600 hours start to finish. So
Really?
It's a big commitment.
Oh my gosh.
It's like in terms of an average work year in our modern world, that would be pretty close to a half a year.
Wow. And if you don't mind my asking, how big did the birch bark canoe turn out to be?
Well, I've built different ones. So
wow.
the longest one is 16 feet. But I tend to build solo canoes because I do a lot of solo trekking.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the most common length of canoe in North America. It wasn't these visualized French voyageurs in the Nord canoe or the Mont Royal canoe plying the waters of the Great Lakes. Most of the canoes were 16 feet or less. And the majority of them would have been 12 to 13 feet.
Wow.
And we don't build a generic canoe because that would be go to the forest and get the material to just build a canoe. So there was a fellow by the name of Adney who was a surveyor from your country that spent most of his life in Canada. And he sees the canoe going out of favor when birch bark is becoming harder to find. The Hudson Bay Company and Northwest Company have converted to canvas-covered canoes. But he saw the remnants of those canoes. He talked to the elders. He measured the canoes. He built models. So when we build a canoe, we can replicate a long-nosed Ojibwe. We can represent a Micmac canoe from the East Coast. We can replicate an old Algonquin-style canoe. So you're looking at a bench-made reproduction, not just a
Still, either way, I mean, very impressive, however you want to put it.
They're a joy to paddle to.
I have no doubt. One of these days I'm going to have to come up to Canada.
You'd be welcome at our fire.
I appreciate it. So, what would you say is probably the most rewarding thing you get from being able to do this, especially now that you have the YouTube channel? What would you say is probably the most rewarding aspect of this journey to preserve history and keep it alive?
Just that, I think, and it boils down to education, right? If we want to, we're seeing younger and younger faces at these events now, which is a good thing. We're not all old silver-haired men. And so education's key. If I get an opportunity to do school education programs, scouting programs, I'll take that opportunity. Wonderful. Passing it on.
So you still do stuff like this, because I've only met you here through Martin Station, but you do stuff like this here, what we're doing this weekend, up in Canada, near your home and everything?
Yes,
like that?
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
so for public schools particularly, I'll take in all kinds of accoutrements. If they're younger age, I'll take in lots of hands-on stuff. If they're old enough and it could absorb history, I get into a more in-depth look at the history. Yeah.
Kind of learn how to play your audience, so to speak.
Correct.
Yeah,
very much so.
Well, that's wonderful, and you know, from one historian to another, you do a phenomenal job.
Thank you, sir.
And you know, I try to never miss an episode, but well, you know what kind of job I do for a living, and it's kind of hard to keep up with all of them.
Yeah,
but
sure.
When I do watch them, I'm always impressed, and it's like when I interviewed Mr. Townsend earlier, and I told him, I said, what really stands out is that you guys obviously have something going well for you here. You kind of hit this vein of silver, so to speak, but you're not content to just rest on your laurels. And, you know, you're not content to just sit on that. You keep trying to improve and expand the channels and improve the quality of each and every video that comes your way, and it really shows.
Thank you, sir.
And it's absolutely a phenomenal job you're doing up there. Lord knows I'd love to go hunting with you or something like that, because I hear there's good game up there.
We have some game. We have some game.
So, Mr. Kelly, keep up the good work, sir, and thank you so much for allowing me the privilege to interview you here today.
It's been my pleasure, Isaac.
Well, thank you so
I
much.
look forward to that visit.
Oh,
I'll be
absolutely.
holding it to you. I'll have the fire burning.
All right, sounds good. Well, folks, if you're not already subscribed to Mr. Kelly's channel, feel free to check out the Woodland Escape. Also, for those of you who are following along on Facebook and YouTube for the Crockett Tavern Museum, we want to thank you for following along. Your support is greatly appreciated. But until our next video comes around, this is Isaac White and Peter Kelly signing off for now, saying goodbye and God bless.